Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BetSperts, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicap and sports betting picks. Taking a break from bashing NBC and their sports coverage, I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. How has the U.S. Open started for you, Andy? We've got a couple low scores here. I mean, not low for golf, but generally in the Open, you usually see stuff around -1, +1. We've got a couple 2s and 3s up there.
Yeah, I'm just happy a couple of the guys I bet against are doing bad. Like Brandon Grace is already doing poorly. I have a matchup against him, so that's nice. I have a Satoshi Kodaira, Grayson Murray matchup, which is I explained that off air a little, just a fucking disaster pillow fight. Those guys aren't making the cut. Well, it's a day one matchup anyway, but those guys aren't making the cut. Cut might be like 4 or 5 over. This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure what we have, but right now your leaders are, of course, David Lingmerth and amateur Stuart Hagestad.
He is
So
so tall.
yeah, it's wild. He's
Big boy.
there's a bunch of decent names at 2 under. There's a bunch at 1 under, but yeah, this should be a very challenging course over these 4 days. And I honestly think this might be some of the easier conditions you see because we did get some moisture the last couple days. There's talk of storms popping through too, so be interesting. But yeah, I'm my a lot of my outrights haven't fired off yet. I gave them all out yesterday. Neiman is one off the lead, tied for third. Zalatoris sucks. He put his first shot into the damn bleachers. Then all my other outrights, none of them start till like one. In fact, two of them tee off together. Mito and Sungjae tee off together, and then Burnsy and Fitzy a little later in the day. But yeah, the coverage sucks. It is what it is. We get spoiled with the Masters. I'll watch other things today. Let's see. Is it a day baseball kind of day, or is it? I do have to pull up tennis.
I'll keep
It's a
flipping
Cubs
around
game
and
at 120. There we go.
I'll take my beating from NBC Universal and keep flipping around and try to watch the golf because the Masters is the best golf tournament of the year. This is my favorite. I love watching golfers go out, and that's why I'm disappointed in the scoring. This course could be harder. Let's get that rough growing. I haven't heard anybody complain about rough in at least a day or two. Let's get that shit high. I just like watching these guys actually look like real golfers, like struggle like the rest of us.
Yeah, get out there and fertilize that rough. Let's get another inch on that by the time we get to Sunday. And yeah, I agree. I'm gonna try to find it. I'll figure out how to watch USA. Okay. All right. Enough of that. We'll
And
get
now let's
on
talk about something
to
we're really excited for.
yes, fuck this game. The NBA Finals. The NBA Finals conclude tonight, possibly with a Golden State win, but this is back in Beantown. Boston -3.5, laying about $1.60 on the money line, 210 for a total. It's kind of found its level there, and I don't know what to do with this. I have a Boston future on the line. It's hanging by a thread. And so I need Boston to win. I'll probably stay away from betting this one since essentially I have a 2-game parlay at a terrible price. But have you broken down how this is going to go? We have the ref assignments. We know how these games have gone. We've seen these teams play 5 times in a row now. What say you, Mr. C?
Well, to the ref thing, real quick. No brothers, no Fosters, so no ref conspiracy nonsense tonight. I know Lockie Lockerson is somewhere feeling better about life as a result of that. But you watch this Boston team that in the fourth quarter of Game 4, as I so eloquently put it, shit their britches and then had to sit in those britches for 3 days, go into Golden State, and then lose a game that I don't know how you lose that game. Steph Curry was bad. The Warriors, I think we shared the tweet again on Tuesday, I believe it was when you weren't here. It was the Warriors are the first team ever to win a game where they missed something like 23s, had less than 15 free throw attempts, and got out offensive rebounded by like 5 or 6 or something. I don't know how you're Boston. You come home. Now, I don't necessarily know how the Boston crowd reacts, but I know if this was a Philadelphia crowd, this is not a crowd you want to come home to. This would not be a supportive crowd. And I wonder if the Boston crowd's going to be a little like that, where things are going to be uneasy. And if this doesn't start well for Boston, if they don't come out and win that first quarter and look good, this could be real ugly real fast. But we've seen the Warriors struggle time and time again to close out series on the road. It's kind of a funky anomaly, and who knows what's going on there. My favorite conspiracy theory about that is that the Warriors ownership wants another home game so they can make another 20, $25 billion. But I think the players maybe are not so aware of that. So in general, I think the first quarter is going to be super telling. Boston has got to come out, get control of this game quickly, and put up some points. And I think as a result of that, the bet I have tonight, give me the first half over. Looking at this series, the first half has gone over this number, I believe, 3 times already. Something like 55% of the points, a little higher than that in every game come in the first half. We've just seen a real dichotomy in terms of the pace and shooting when it comes to first half and second half. So I'll be grabbing a first half over, and honestly, I'll probably be live betting some unders. I might even go do some goofy same game parlays where I do first half over, full game under, because there's no way they know how to do that correlation properly. But give me the first half over just as a general bet here. Again, I think things start quickly and then slow down.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, and hopefully things start quickly because I played a prop just because there's not much to bet on today. I already got all my golf in. One of my golf bets actually canceled. It was Abe Answer pulled out. It was the one I gave out on the fucking show. Sorry, I gave it out on the show and it canceled. I woke up to I had a couple bets pushed last night in baseball, and then this one I had all these canceled bets, and one was golf, and I said, I wonder which one pulled out, if it was Mito or Answer, because if it was Mito, I'd have some outrights canceled too. But it was Abe Answer. Sounds like he might have the LIV flu, is the rumor. But also, yeah, there's a lot of issues pre-tournament. There were rumors of Harold Varner had some sort of illness. Jordan Spieth just came out and said he was sick. He's not looking good today. Cantlay's been dealing with a family issue the past couple of days, so a lot of uncertainty. Have fun with that. I didn't play any DFS. Like I don't want to try to mess with it when it's a tournament I'm barely understanding what the course is going to be like, and then yeah, Jordan Spieth must have gone to 2 baseball games and a horse track in the same weekend before he played
too many
golf.
poke
Because,
nachos.
yeah, that's what happens to your tummy. But I digress. Back to the game. Marcus Smart over 2.5 3-pointers.
I love it. He's the only guy on the Celtics that hasn't been afraid.
So from my, again, this is Andy, casual NBA better. Don't go nuts on this. But he's hit this in 4 out of the 5 games. 3 of them were just 3 on the nuts, but he's taking a lot. He has taken double-digit 3-pointers 4 times in this postseason. He's taken at least 9, I think another 5 or 6 times. Like, he will take these shots. He's not afraid, and he's not Steph Curry, but he's a 32% 3-point shooter. He just needs to fire up 7, 8, 9, and we have a chip share and a chance at this at a decent price. He does have better splits at home. They are at home. I think it was roughly 20 percentage points. Yeah, he goes from like a 30 to a 50 at home to not that many, but he does go up. I'm gonna have to go look at his splits now. That was not right at all. He is a better shooter at home when it comes to 3-point shooting. I have it right now. Yeah, two. So like 2/10, 20 hundredths is the same thing. I'm just not converting right. So he does go from the 32 to 34.2 when he is home. So I guess a little bit of bump, but yeah, just kind of a fun one for me tonight because I don't know what to bet in this game, and it would behoove my Celtics bets if Mr. Smart was scoring about 30. Tatum 40 tonight, he says. I don't know. Tatum has been weird for me in this tournament. I guess it is a tournament when it comes down to it. The NBA playoffs tournament. They should call it that because that would sound fucking weird. Just super weird. But yeah, here go Celtics. I think that's what we're on. So hopefully we can get a nice result, and Marcus Smart just ends up with maybe draining the first 3 shots right away from deep. Oh my God, it would be nice to get this one. This is one you can definitely get out of the way by halftime, and it's not super likely, but these things happen. It'd be awful nice to at least have 2 by halftime. If we have 2 by halftime, I think I'll feel good about my life.
I saw a halt in the chat. Yes, the Mathurin at 5 numbers moving on us. Did I tell you guys to take some Ivy at 5? That's the other number that seems to be interesting. If you've got some Mathurin, go take like your Mathurin stake and put it on Ivy to be 5 at like plus 200 or better is still out there. And the other draft bets, and I think these have moved. Honestly, follow Vegas Refund. He really does a good job of getting out on top of these things and tweeting them out as soon as we kind of attack them. But again, it's terrible with these names. Ochai Baji under 15.5 at a reasonable number, reasonable, honestly, minus 50 or minus 150 or better looks good. And then this number, I think, is pretty much gone. AJ Griffin over 10.5 at plus money. Looks like he's going to fall back down there. And yeah, Halt, I did say Ivy at 2. Hopefully you got that at a big number. I've been starting to read that we might have Ivy at 5. So I grabbed a little bit of that as well. So just some quick draft bets here. Again, hard to find these. They're starting to open up at some offshores, and we'll do some more formal draft bets next week as they start to open up more.
Yeah, Bill Parcells did call the NFL playoffs tournament because he's a weird dude. But what else we got? Golf. I do have some golf bets this afternoon. A couple, like I said, a couple of my golf bets did start. We should check what the mess is between Kadira and Murray. Kadira still leads by 1. Let's go, Satoshi. Let's go. Neiman still at -2, but I have a couple for this afternoon. Hadwin, I'm just pulling this up right now. Hadwin and Herbert are the same tee time. It says 2:09 p.m., assuming Eastern. So you're looking at a tee time that starts in about 2.5 hours, something like that. They do pull these down like 10, 15 minutes before they get out on course. So you probably got 2 hours to get this one in. I laid -120. Lucas Herbert is a guy I bet against in a couple spots. I'm not sure exactly what I hate about this guy, but boy, he did not come up well in any of my numbers. I looked a lot at, again, how were your greens in regulation? How do you fit to this course? How has your form been? How have you played on tougher conditions so far this year? How have you played in tougher rough conditions, which obviously is what we're seeing here. So he didn't mark out well in any of that, so I ended up betting against him a couple spots. I think, this is more of a Herbert fade, so hopefully he doesn't play well. I've bet against him twice. Hadwin is, nothing special as far as where I have him ranked. He's kind of right in that Tommy Fleetwood, Harold Varner range for me, but it's still quite a bit above here. I make this price closer to $135, $140. He is, again, not elite, but a good greens and regulations guy, a guy who's played okay at tougher condition courses. So I like this one. And then the other one, I tend to just write out the last names. Would not have worked so hot in this one, as it's Leon Lee, brother on brother crime. I have no idea. They're probably not related. Like it's. I'm guessing there's plenty of people with the last name Lee. I mean, how many people we have, especially on the women's tour? There are like 6 girls with the same last. It's not like they all have the last name and they're on the tour. It's like they're all good and they have the same last name. It's very common. Smith-esque. So Danny Lee is the guy I'm betting over Minwoo Lee. 2 different people. Danny Lee is someone I liked. I like the form last week, and Minwoo Lee is someone I have way down the old pipe, I guess. Yeah, I was trying to find, where did Danny Lee finish last week? So Danny Lee, New Zealander. I couldn't remember if it was Australian or New Zealand, and it was Australasian. Tied for 10th at Canadian Open. Not a lot of people talked about him. Really liked what I saw. So I did lay the half stroke here. It was a bigger price than this, but I think this could be a beatdown. Minwoo Lee is far enough down by numbers where I'm not expecting him to play very well here at this tough course. So Danny Lee laying the half stroke. So a tie is a loss at -101 here.
I can dig it. Yeah, I like the -1/2. I like it. Who needs a tie? Ties are un-American. What is this, soccer?
Yeah. We don't need this. Yeah, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as ties. Ties. Well, and the fun thing is, and I've never bet one of these. I'm almost sure I've never bet one of these. Was on the other staff that you can bet the plus half stroke, and the tie is a winner. Like again, but that's very soccer-esque. kind of wash my hands of that. Issue, don't need it. We'll go to where they do play soccer and they love it. Berlin.
The
First
football,
you
if you
take
will.
Manhattan, then you take Berlin and Birmingham. Again, you've been pretty good about having bets in both places. Usually, I know you're not just like, oh, I have to have a Birmingham bet for the show. Like, I know your process, and it just kind of worked out nice where we have some looks in both places every day.
We love grass season. It's been pretty good so far. As Fran Millionaire points out, Samsonova was trying hard there in the second set, but she's down a set and a break, and she's got to hold here just to stay alive. We'll see how it goes, but Zhang doing pretty well. Two looks for us. These will both be tomorrow. Again, tennis for today is just about done in terms of Berlin and Birmingham. And we'll start with the total. It's grass season, so I don't mind the 21.5. Kasatkina Sakari over 21.5. I was thinking about maybe playing over 2.5 sets, but again, for whatever reason, the way the market correlates 2.5 sets seems odd to me in terms of grass season. They dropped the number way down for whatever reason. So I'll just take the 21.5. If you want to find 22 at a plus money number, you can do that a few places, but I've seen some 21.5 standard juice floating around. That looks great to me. Every single time these two players have played, they've gone 3 sets, and I don't necessarily rely on head-to-head stuff like that. But if you think about the matchup, the way that both of them are very good on return, the way that their serve is kind of attackable, and both women are women that don't quit on matches. And not to say that a lot of other players do, but you can definitely see people get defeated in second sets. They check out a little bit. For certain players, second set unders are a lock when they lose the first set, and that is not the case for either one of these women here. So I think we're going to see an absolute battle here. Thought about maybe set overs, but it does feel like it might be a 3-set kind of thing. So maybe play the over 2.5 anyway. I've talked about it enough at this point where I probably jinxed myself into it happening, and I won't bet it. I'll be upset. So maybe you should bet it and you'll be happy. But Birmingham, we'll just take a money line there. Vekic minus 120. Someone who about almost a year and a half ago, picked up some injuries and really just kind of fell off. She was a really promising sort of top 50, top 40 type player that was pushing up the rankings, especially on quick hard courts and grass. She has an excellent game for these surfaces and is really doing well here to get herself back into form. Like this matchup quite a bit for her. Goes up against, sorry, I did a bad job. I didn't write this down. Sorona Kirstea, another player who has a game that is well suited for grass, but just in general, in my mind, doesn't do much better than what Vekic does. So I have Vekic out here closer to minus 150. So minus 120, minus 125, honestly, minus 130 or better is good, but you should be able to find something 20 or better. So a total will go over in Berlin and Vekic in Birmingham.
Donna. Taking Donna and Beham is what I call it. And Fran Millionaire says they're having. You will see this sometimes for majors. The score, over under for score. Essentially, that's a.
I'm surprised they didn't offer that more often.
Yeah,
Feels like a fun bet for people to make.
I do see those more for majors, but you do see them a lot on. It's more on paper heads that have those, which is, I guess, part of the fun. But there's a good chance to take some swings at some guys this afternoon. If you think you have a good grip on, if you were able to watch this somehow, and you have a good grip on how the course is playing, and you think there's a guy whose game fits or doesn't fit this, and obviously it's going to keep drying out. It's getting windier. It's going to play tougher this afternoon. So maybe a look at some overs this afternoon. I'm going to pull up my Buckeye and see if I can get a few of those. So
Ooh, round robin afternoon overs.
Kind of want to round robin some stuff. I might get down with that. So otherwise, yeah, appreciate you guys joining us. And the Hef per the Hef's dad. The wind is absolutely picking up. His dad is at the course. Boots on the ground. Our correspondent in the field, the Hef senior. Which, I mean, it was supposed to. So if the wind does pick up, sorry that 4 of my 6 outrights play in the afternoon. But you don't have to play tomorrow morning. Such is life. That's how the cookie crumbles. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, retweet us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. Thumbs up's the most important if you don't want to do any of that. Thanks to everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.